If you've ever found yourself overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or depression, there's one important thing to remember. You are not alone. It might feel like you're trapped in your struggles, but countless others share similar challenges. Acknowledging this can be the first step in lightening the emotional weight you carry. So, let's take this journey together towards understanding, healing, and growth. At times, life feels like an endless barrage of difficulties. Whether it's personal loss, professional setbacks, or even an inexplicable wave of sadness, the struggles of life can weigh heavily. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing no one understands or cares about our pain. But here's the truth. Help is available. The key lies in recognizing your worth and seeking that support from the right people and places. The universal nature of suffering. One of the most profound insights of Buddhist teachings is the acknowledgement that suffering is a shared human experience. The Buddha said, "Where there is birth, there is suffering." This doesn't mean life is destined to be miserable. Rather, it invites us to see suffering as part of life's tapestry, shared by every individual. When we understand this, the weight of our pain can feel less isolating. Imagine standing in a room filled with people who've all endured hardships, grief, fear, or despair. You'd realize that while your pain is unique to you, the experience of suffering is universal. Perspective, the lens that shapes our pain. Interestingly, suffering itself isn't what causes despair. Instead, it's how we view it. Let's consider two scenarios. A person who views their pain as insurmountable may spiral deeper into hopelessness. Or another who sees pain as a temporary challenge might approach it with resilience. The difference lies in perspective. The practice of shifting this perspective is what makes suffering less burdensome. In Buddhism, this concept is explored deeply. The idea isn't to reject suffering, but to reshape our relationship with it. Instead of viewing pain as an enemy, we can see it as a teacher, one that builds resilience and wisdom. Mindfulness of thoughts, the heart of healing. At the core of Buddhist practice is the concept of Chittanupassana, or mindfulness of thoughts. This practice provides a powerful tool to address depressive or anxious thoughts. Unlike some approaches that try to suppress or eliminate negative thoughts, mindfulness invites us to observe them without judgment. Picture yourself sitting by the side of a busy road. Cars of all shapes and sizes pass by, some fast, some slow, some noisy. Each car represents a thought. Your role isn't to stop the traffic or jump into the road, but simply to observe. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. You can do it anywhere, while seated, walking, or even waiting for a bus. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? Observe the answer. When a thought appears, label it, here's a sad thought, or here's some anxiety. Recognizing it for what it is helps create distance between you and the emotion. You are not your thoughts. One of the most liberating realizations from mindfulness is that you are not your thoughts. Often, we identify so strongly with what we think that it becomes part of our self-concept. For example, thinking "I'm a failure" often feels like an undeniable truth. But when you step back and observe this thought, you realize it's just that, a thought. Over time, mindfulness allows you to see these thoughts as passing phenomena, like clouds in the sky. This separation can be life-changing. Instead of battling negative thoughts or letting them define you, you simply watch them pass. The transience of thoughts. A comforting truth about thoughts is their impermanence. They arise, linger, and eventually fade. By understanding this transient nature, you can take a more patient approach to distressing emotions. Here's an analogy. Imagine holding a snowflake in your hand. At first, it's distinct and cold. But as you observe, it melts, leaving no trace. Thoughts are similar. They appear vivid and overwhelming but inevitably fade when left undisturbed. The power of self-belief. One of the most common mental traps during depression is the belief, "I'm not good enough." This single thought can chain us to feelings of inadequacy, hopelessness, and inertia. But let me tell you something important. You are more capable than you think. Consider this. Or a toddler learning to walk falls repeatedly yet never doubts their ability to stand. Or an artist begins with messy strokes, unsure of the masterpiece they'll create. The lesson is clear. Growth often looks messy and uncertain, but it doesn't mean you lack potential. Changing the narrative in your mind can unlock incredible strength. Pain as a catalyst for growth. Here's a truth that might feel counterintuitive. Pain can help you grow. Think about some of life's most valuable lessons. Chances are, they were born from challenges. Moments when you had to dig deep and overcome adversity. Pain isn't the enemy. Resistance to pain is. Instead of running from it, try sitting with it. What is it teaching you? Perhaps it's patience, empathy, or the strength to endure. For instance, after losing a job, one might learn resourcefulness. Through heartbreak, one discovers self-love. Finding purpose in recovery. One of the most rewarding aspects of overcoming depression or anxiety is the opportunity to help others. Having walked the path yourself, you become uniquely equipped to guide someone else. Think of it like this. A mentor who once struggled with math can relate to a struggling student, or a recovered patient offers hope to someone newly diagnosed. Your pain isn't just a burden. It's a potential bridge to connect with and uplift others. Practical steps for healing. If this resonates with you, here are a few actionable steps. 1. Practice mindfulness. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily observing your thoughts. 2. Seek help. Talk to a trusted friend, counselor, or spiritual guide. 3. Challenge negative beliefs. Write down limiting thoughts and actively reframe them. 4. Embrace support. Remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. A community of growth. Before we continue, don't forget to support this channel, Buddhism in Modern Life. By subscribing, you join a community dedicated to exploring mindfulness, compassion, and practical wisdom for everyday struggles. As we delve deeper, we'll explore more advanced mindfulness practices, share inspiring stories of transformation, and uncover how embracing suffering can unlock profound inner peace. Stay tuned as we continue this journey toward healing and happiness. In the first part of our journey, we uncovered the universality of suffering, the power of mindfulness, and the life-changing realization that you are not your thoughts. With this foundation, let's dive even deeper into the transformative practices, inspiring stories, and actionable steps that can turn your pain into purpose. But before we move forward, take a moment to remind yourself, healing is a journey, not a destination. Like a seed that needs time to grow into a tree, your progress may feel slow, but with patience and care, it will flourish. Advanced mindfulness practices. By now, you're familiar with observing thoughts without judgment. Let's expand this practice with 2 advanced techniques that can further support your mental well-being. 1. Labeling emotions with kindness. When emotions arise, labeling them can help you understand their root causes without becoming overwhelmed. However, this labeling works best when paired with self-compassion. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm so angry, I shouldn't feel this way," try labeling it as, "This is anger, and it's okay to feel this right now." If sadness appears, acknowledge it gently. "This is sadness visiting me." The key is to treat your emotions as you would a friend. Listen, acknowledge, and respond with care. 2. Breathing through the storm. Breathwork is a powerful way to anchor yourself in the present moment. When depressive or anxious thoughts feel overwhelming, use your breath as a refuge. Here's a simple exercise. 1. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in for a count of 4. 2. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. 3. Exhale slowly for a count of 6. 4. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. This practice not only calms the nervous system, but also creates space between you and your thoughts. Reframing suffering as a teacher. One of the most empowering shifts you can make is to view suffering not as an obstacle but as a teacher. Every challenge carries a lesson, and recognizing these lessons can turn moments of despair into stepping stones for growth. Consider this analogy. A diamond forms under pressure. Without the intense heat and pressure of the earth, it would remain a lump of coal. Similarly, your struggles can shape you into a more resilient and compassionate version of yourself. Real-life stories of transformation. Sometimes, hearing about others' journeys can inspire us to persist through our own struggles. Here are 2 stories that highlight the power of resilience and mindfulness. Story 1. The artist who found freedom. Maya, an aspiring painter, struggled with paralyzing self-doubt. Every time she sat in front of a canvas, a voice in her head whispered, "You're not talented enough. Why even try?" Over time, this voice led her into a deep depression, and she stopped painting altogether. One day, a friend introduced her to mindfulness. At first, Maya resisted. How could observing her thoughts possibly help? But as she began practicing, she noticed something remarkable. Instead of fighting her inner critic, she started observing it. She realized that the voice wasn't her truth. It was just a lingering fear from her childhood. Slowly, she began painting again, not to prove her worth, but as an act of self-expression. Today, Maya's art is celebrated worldwide, and she credits mindfulness for helping her reclaim her passion. Story 2. The teacher who turned pain into purpose. Raj, a high school teacher, lost his wife in a tragic accident. Grief consumed him, and he felt he could no longer face his students. But during a meditation retreat, he learned about the impermanence of emotions. Instead of suppressing his grief, he allowed himself to fully feel it. Over time, he found a way to honor his wife's memory by creating a support group for grieving families. Through his pain, Raj discovered his life's purpose, helping others navigate their own losses. The role of community in healing. While mindfulness is a powerful individual practice, healing is often amplified within a supportive community. Human beings are wired for connection, and sharing your journey with others can bring comfort and perspective. If you're unsure where to begin, consider these steps. Join a support group. Many communities and online platforms offer safe spaces for discussing mental health. A volunteer. Helping others can shift your focus from personal struggles to collective solutions. A reconnect with loved ones. Sharing your feelings with trusted friends or family members can lighten the emotional load. Challenging negative beliefs. One of the most persistent barriers to recovery is the inner narrative that says, "I'm not good enough." But here's a question. Who decided that? Often, these beliefs stem from external influences, society, upbringing, or past failures. To challenge these beliefs, try this exercise. 1. Write down a negative thought, such as, "I'll never succeed." 2. Beneath it, write evidence to the contrary. For example, "I've succeeded in learning new skills before." 3. Create a new, empowering belief. "I have the ability to grow and succeed." Repeat this process regularly and watch how your self-perception transforms. Helping others. The ripple effect. One of the most fulfilling outcomes of healing is the ability to uplift others. As you recover from depression or anxiety, you gain unique insights that can guide someone else. For example, sharing your mindfulness journey might inspire a friend to try meditation. Volunteering to mentor someone facing challenges can create a ripple effect of hope. Imagine how your story could spark transformation in someone else's life. Isn't that a beautiful purpose to pursue? Let's pause for a moment to reflect. What step will you take today to embrace healing? Whether it's practicing mindfulness, seeking support, or challenging a limiting belief, every small action matters. And as you embark on this journey, consider subscribing to our channel, Buddhism in Modern Life. By joining us, you'll gain access to practical wisdom, inspiring stories, and a community that values growth and compassion. As we conclude this exploration, let's revisit the key lessons. 1. Suffering is universal, but you are not alone. 2. Mindfulness can help you separate yourself from negative thoughts. 3. Pain, though difficult, can lead to profound growth. 4. Helping others not only uplifts them but also enriches your own life. Depression and anxiety can feel overwhelming, but they don't define you. With patience, support, and the right tools, you can navigate even the darkest moments and emerge stronger. So, take heart. The path to healing is within your reach, and every step you take brings you closer to a life filled with purpose, connection, and peace. Thank you for reading, and may you find the courage to embrace your journey toward happiness. Remember, you are more capable than you think, and your story has the power to inspire others.